Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another weather forecast. I'm meteorologist Aiden Leisure, and today we've got a lot to talk about here. We're going to be talking about our first winter storm of the year here that's going to be impacting the northern portions of the Midwest, specifically with snow, and then southern portions of the Midwest with damaging winds. We are going to be seeing quite a bit of activity in the way of weather. But before we get there, let's take a look at our temperatures for now. We're looking like we're going to be in the 50s pretty much the entire way across the graphic there in the green. Some isolated places down in Chicago in the 40s, the high 40s rather, but low 40s up there into northern portions of the graphic like northern Minnesota and North Dakota. We are also going to be seeing that cool down start to happen. As you can see, this pretty sharp temperature gradient here that goes kind of across the cuts a diagonal across the graphic. That is going to be as a result of the low pressure system that is going to be dumping all of that snow up in the northern portions of the Midwest, taking all of the cold air out of Canada and pushing it into the area. So you can see here by tomorrow's highs, not a lot warmer up in the north. It's really only going to warm up a couple of degrees as this low pressure system really starts to kind of hammer its way through the area. And you can see we're going to get our 50-degree day tomorrow. We may have a little bit of rain as well in the Chicagoland area, but that's not going to last long as this really starts to fire its way through the country, bring a lot of cold air into the area and a lot of weather risks up and towards the northern portions of the Midwest there towards Lake Superior and into northern Wisconsin and Minnesota as well. So, Oswego, we are going to be a lot worse later. Let's just say that. We're definitely going to enter an active period of weather here. And you can see here by those freezing temperatures, we're going to remain under freezing at the end of the week when it's all said and done. But in order to get there, we got to get through a little bit of rain on Tuesday. And then as that wanes off, we are going to really have an interesting weather day on Wednesday and Thursday. It's going to be very windy. We may be seeing areas pretty much sustained 20 to 25 mile an hour winds with maybe 45 mile an hour wind gusts in some places even getting to 50 miles an hour, which is very strong. So if you guys have any loose furniture items out there, please make sure they're secured by Wednesday, as that's really going to start to impact the area of Chicagoland on Wednesday. Thursday it won't be nearly as bad, but Wednesday's really going to start to it's going to start to rear its ugly head. And those wind chills, by the way, are going to be frigid. We're going to be 20 degrees below the posted temperature mainly the entire day Wednesday. So if it's going to be 44 Wednesday, plan for 24. Maybe even plan for less. Definitely wear some face covering as if you guys are walking outside or being outside for some duration of time. Definitely bundle up. It's going to be very cold. Let's take a look here, though, from the top down. Now, whenever we have these big weather events, we're going to look from the top of the atmosphere and work our way downwards so we know what we're working with here. And at the top of the atmosphere, we're going to be seeing pretty much what drives our severe weather and what's going to drive all of this winter weather. So we're going to be seeing here what's called troughing here. Right here, it's a lot of very strong upper level jet there. It's going to really start to impact the areas here across the northern Midwest. We're going to see that troughing really start to bubble up, and we're going to start to see that circulating low pressure system really enter the area into northern Wisconsin by Wednesday. We're going to really start to see those impacts set itself up. Now, in terms of precipitation, we're seeing the storm here in its full glory right here. You can see a very, very strong low pressure system. It's a 992 millibar low pressure system, which is quite strong for land. It's not typical we get strong storms like that across land. Typically, those are nor'easter strength on this side of the coast here, but we're seeing a very strong landlocked low pressure system here that's going to give us quite a bit of impacts here, especially in towards the Midwest there. Let's look at our total snowfall from this. You can see it starts to kind of creep up, and by Wednesday, we are really going to start to see snow. We are seeing here, even places on this model, seeing maybe 2 to 3 feet of lake effect snow from this storm. It is going to be very incredible as we see portions of the coast up there towards southern Lake Superior, northern Wisconsin, up towards Ironwood. We're seeing places that are going to be under feet of snow, and this is going to make its way into the area Tuesday overnight into Wednesday. So if you guys are traveling up here, say if you're going from Chicago, a lot of Chicagoans like to go up north for holidays. They love doing it, especially up towards northern Wisconsin. They're going to go pretty far. So we're going to be seeing those impacts get to that area Tuesday night into Wednesday. So if you leave Tuesday morning, you are going to have a lesser chance of getting those severe impacts where we're going to be seeing lots of snowfall at a very short period of time. Now, if you leave later, we're going to be seeing a little more of an uptick of the chance. So if you leave, I'd say worst comes to worst, you leave at 6 to 7 p.m., right? From Chicagoland up towards northern Wisconsin, which isn't typical, but if that does happen and if that does apply to you, you're pushing the boundary here. Once you get up towards Wisconsin, towards midnight, this is really going to start to settle. So just be careful when you're traveling. Please be careful. Go slow. Do not rush. Uh, have control of your vehicle. Make sure you have, all of the winter precautions that you would. Please be careful when traveling, especially north to south, as these winds, especially on Tuesday and Wednesday, are going to be kicking from west to east. And people like semis, we're going to be seeing semis on Wednesday, especially on Wednesday in the Chicagoland area. We're going to be seeing, have a very difficult time traveling north to south, as those high-profile vehicles will be impacted by the winds that are going to result from this low-pressure system. And you can see that here, this huge plume here from this low-pressure system on the back left side is really going to start to swing a ton of wind into this area. So you can see by those pinks, especially those pinks, that's going to be 25 knots or greater. We're going to see gusts that are more than that. So please be careful in the Chicagoland area and in towards Wisconsin, northern Wisconsin, Minnesota, UP of Michigan, and Michigan. You guys are going to have the biggest impact. So please travel according to plan. Please be weather aware. It's not going to be impossible to travel. This won't ruin your Thanksgiving. Just please plan accordingly. Let's switch gears now. We're going to be looking at the severe weather portion of this. This is a pretty big low pressure system. It's going to pretty much cross the entire country in one wave, and you can see that slight risk encompassing 3 states from Texas, Louisiana, all the way to Mississippi and southern portions of Arkansas in the slight risk, but that marginal risk doesn't include northern portions of Arkansas and towards the Dallas-Fort Worth area. We're going to be seeing damaging wind and hail that are going to be in the 15% chance pretty much all throughout Texas and Louisiana and maybe even portions of Mississippi. And when storms enter these areas, they're going to be prone to rotating, especially in this environment. As warm air kind of enters this environment, it's going to tend to rotate. So please be careful as you're planning travel for the holidays, Thanksgiving. Definitely make sure you're traveling according to plan and you're not going to drive directly into a nasty thunderstorm. You don't want that. So travel according to the weather. We're going to be seeing this risk pretty much, it's going to decrease a little bit. It's still going to remain, though, across the southern portion of the United States here towards Mississippi. We're seeing it in Alabama, Georgia, even portions of Tennessee and western North Carolina, and even the panhandle of Florida there might get in on it a little bit. We're seeing less of a damaging wind threat and less of a damaging hail threat. But still, as storms enter this area, they're going to be prone to rotating. As you can see here by that 5% chance of tornadoes and the 2% that encompasses all the way from Louisiana up towards northern Tennessee and pretty much all of the western portion of Georgia, including Atlanta. So please be weather aware during that time. It's going to get a little nasty at some point, but you can travel around it. Just make sure you are weather aware. You guys are checking your weather apps, making sure you know when things are going to happen. So we're seeing day 3, though. There's a pretty widespread general risk of thunderstorms the entire East Coast. May see a isolated severe weather risk here, maybe a marginal risk on the coast here towards the Carolinas, but nothing significant like it will be today or tomorrow. But let's take a look at our big picture outlook here. We're looking at the next 8 to 14 days. You can see here generally that southeast corner here of the United States is going to remain very high and above average, and that's mainly because of the activity that's going to be unfolding across the entire country as more and more of these wintry weather systems kind of cross the country. It's going to start to kick up a lot of cold air. It's going to start to bring a lot of it down here into this blue area, especially where it's much below average. You can see that very, very deep gradient from very above to very below. You can see it's quite sharp going from northern Iowa all the way down to Georgia. It's only, we're talking about maybe 1,000 up to 1,000 miles. We're seeing, temperatures that are very sharp. So we're going to be looking very active, though, over the course of the next couple of weeks even. And you can see here by the precipitation outlook, the entire country is above average in precipitation, and that's because of how active our weather pattern is going to be. So you can see it's going to be pretty active here in this chunk here as low pressure systems kind of exit the Rockies. They're going to start to spill a lot of snow in places like Denver, up towards Billings, in Montana, up towards Wyoming. We're going to start to see a lot of precipitation there, and as those storm systems cross the country, we're going to start to see them impact areas towards the Midwest and east of the Mississippi as rain events or snow events. It could go either way as it enters these areas, but please be weather aware in the next 2 weeks as we are going to be in an active pattern. So, thank you guys so much for watching and sticking around till the end. If you guys did enjoy, please leave a like and subscribe. I will see you guys in the next forecast.